You ready to go to the cabin? Yeah? It is Monday. I don't even know what day, the 13th, something like that. 10th, 11th, 12th, 13th, somewhere in there. I lose track of the days now. But it's Monday, and this weekend is the archery opener here in Wisconsin, and I am pretty pumped. We've been working real hard this summer. The food plots are in, trail cameras have been hanging, and I'm not going to be able to check them before the opener, so I'm going to fly up to the cabin with Harley here. Just a real quick trip to go up there, check things out, make sure everything's good to go, and do one last trail camera pull before the season gets here. So hopefully we got some good news. There still hasn't been any sign of Dagger. Maybe he'll be in the cards this time. I'm holding out that he's still alive, but hopefully get a good look at what bucks are in the area now that they are hard-horned, I would imagine. See if they're using the food plots, and yeah, just check on things. So we'll see you at the cabin. That right there is my favorite sight in the whole world. Driving up and around to the cabin. Whew, alrighty, I'm here. I'm not gonna waste any time. I'm just gonna jump on the four-wheeler and start flying around to these trail cameras. Harley's gonna run with me, and we'll see what we got. Really, the only thing I'm doing today is checking the trail cameras, checking out the food plots, and then I'm getting out of here. So no work to be done other than grabbing these cards. We are at the first camera location right here behind me, and if you can see, there's a tree stand maybe 10 yards, 15 yards that way. This camera location and tree stand is literally maybe 100 yards behind our outhouse. And even though it's so close to the cabin, this is almost always one of my best cameras every single year. There's a swamp right here, a ridge right here, and this four-wheeler trail that connects this field up to our big food plot field. And deer just travel this little trail all the time. There's a pond right here as well, so it's just a really good transition area. So I forgot a tripod and all my other cameras and stuff. This is just a quick trip, so I'm gonna pull the card out of this camera here and move on to the next one. Alrighty, card location number 2. This is a plot you'll commonly hear referred to as the Eiffel Tower, or the Eiffel Tower stand is right up here behind me. Had lots of good hunts in the stand. If you've been following me, you've seen it before. I shot my first buck with a bow out of the stand. Got my shot at Dagger out of the stand. Lots of good hunts, but the food plot is looking okay. A little bit sparse and a little bit weedy. This section always struggles to grow, but I don't know what the heck this stuff is, but this is clearly what they're munching on. And there's definitely food in here. I can see lots of some turnips, some clover. What is this stuff? I don't know what this is, but it looks like they're munching on it. This stuff right here, look at, it's all munched on. But that's what we're looking for, more stuff like that. We just need more rain. We had that one weekend full of rain, and then it's been pretty dry ever since. So got one camera over here overlooking this food plot. Alright, last time I was here, I put in this Hodag licking stick, and clearly all the leaves have been munched off on it, so I got a camera way over there overlooking this plot and this licking stick, and it's a bit of a far shot with the camera. I mean, that thing's got to be 30, 35 yards away, but hopefully we get a look at what's been eating the leaves off of here and if they've been using this. I mean, I know they've been using it. I guarantee the first night it was up, they were using it, but hopefully we get good pictures of them. This plot, as usual, is looking okay. We need more rain, man. Lots of stuff growing. It's just small. I was late on planting it, but for the little bit of rain we did get, it's coming up pretty decent. Alright, so I got this stand up in this tree overlooking the food plot. And then depending on wind and everything, and the conditions we have opening day, this is always a good option for opening day. It's, you know, hopefully trying to catch deer coming out to food. So we'll see what the camera says, but man, I just hope some of these deer start showing up. It's been, you know, we got some shooters on camera, but not as many as usual. So I'm hoping that now that this food is actually starting to grow, there's been more deer in here, because in the first part of the summer we didn't have much for food at all other than this clover that was in this field. All right, I'm in another one of my plots here, and this plot's coming in pretty good. The seed spacing's okay. I can see little turnips and radishes and stuff growing literally everywhere. Harley's chasing after something. Butterfly. Man, we need some more rain, dude. It's really, really dry out here. I would have thought with that rain we got that we'd be a little bit better off, but everything looks dry. All the corn on the way up looked like it was dry. Just everything is dry, so we need some more rain, man, and if we get it, this food plot's going to be awesome. I was just a little bit late getting it in and haven't had the weather we need, but provided we get some rain, this should turn out pretty good. Well, that was no bueno. Right when I pulled up, there was like 4 or 5 deer in here munching on these acorns, and this food plot is, man, all the sprouts are coming up the way you'd like it to look about 2 months ago. If I would have been planting on time, we'd be in good shape. Just barely little sprouts coming out of the ground in here, and this food plot always struggles because it's really sandy and it doesn't get a whole lot of sunlight, but lots of acorns coming off of this oak tree, man. That's cool. There's a couple oaks. We don't have a whole lot of oak on this property, and this one has a couple oak trees surrounding this little plot, so that's a good food source for them. But I do have a camera overlooking a licking stick, and I've had some pretty good action on it, so yeah, look at this. See, we've got germination, we've got growth, just not much of it. Then there's our licking stick with our camera looking over it. Well, Harley just ran off, and I heard about 150 million turkeys bust out. Man, this plot's kind of the same thing. It looks actually really, really good, surprisingly, considering we didn't even turn the dirt over or anything. We just sprayed it and broadcast it into the dead grass, but it just looks behind. I mean, you'd like to see it much further along than this. The seed spacing and the germination is really good. We just need more rain to get these plants to grow before we run out of time of the growing season here. But I got this licking stick right here behind me and the trail camera over it. This has been one of our better trail cameras so far because the cornfield's right over here, and this is a perfect transition area. There's a deer right there. This is a perfect transition area coming from the swamp into the cornfield. Can't believe that deer is just chilling. It's too far away for this lens to pick up, but I'm gonna pull this card, get back over, and take a look at what the heck's going on around here. Whew, alrighty, I am in the cabin now. I have 6 cards to go through. I got my computer set up, and I'm going to start getting into these. And I don't care what any hunter says. If you have property that you hunt that's like yours or yours alone, running trail cameras is like my favorite part about the entire experience. I know some people disagree with that, but it's like Christmas every time you check your cards. There might be a giant on it, and it's really awesome. So I'm gonna look through these. Hopefully there's some good news. Well, no sign of Dagger, but there are a couple things I'm excited about. Right away on the first card I checked, there's this new oddball on camera. Throw some pictures of him up here on the screen, but he didn't really give us a great look at what he's got going on, but he's got a really wonky rack and is very unique, which is kind of cool. He doesn't look like that old of a deer to me. It's kind of hard to tell because I only have a couple pictures of him, and you can't really see, but he's got a fairly decent sized rack, and it's really unique, so that's kind of cool. And then there is one other buck that is kind of the opposite. He doesn't have a very big rack or very impressive rack, but he just looks like old and fat. He's kind of a thick boy, so he's a decent deer. And then there's one other deer that I only have like one half of a picture of him. He barely showed up on camera. He looks bigger to me, but has a very similar type of rack as that thicker deer. I think it's a completely separate deer that's just a little bit bigger, but hard to tell because I only got one picture of him. So other than that, there's a bear over there playing with the licking stick. That was kind of cool. And a bobcat. That's also cool. We've had several bobcat pictures this year. My dad actually has a bobcat tag this year, so we might try to trap that thing later on when the bobcat season is in. But no sign of Dagger, which is borderline depressing. But there's some other good deer to chase on the property, and you know, cameras only do so much. They definitely give you a good idea of what's in the area and what's going on, but they don't always tell the whole story. So I just know that there's plenty of deer and the season's close. I'm excited. The other thing is one of my cameras over the food plots, for some reason the card won't read in the on my computer right now. It won't even show up. So I'm going to take that home and hopefully be able to check that on a different computer with a different dongle on my laptop or something. But yeah, man, season's almost here. It'll be here this weekend. So make sure you guys like and subscribe to follow along with what I'm doing this year. Season will be here, you know, before we know it. And then we'll be deer hunting, bow hunting, duck hunting, all that good stuff. So stay tuned. Thank you for watching this video, and we'll see you in the next one.